And welcome everybody to the service box. We're in trouble were the last words I heard before this stream started. So brace yourself, TJ Bomba. We're in for an evening. Welcome everybody. My name is Tim Backers, joined of course by Commissioner TJ Bomba and three special guests this evening: Michelle De La Rosa, Rick the Soda Man Koll, and of course Marty Hogan.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing the feed and spreading it around as we talk to these three and ask questions of them about their careers and a little bit about outdoor racquetball as well. Before we begin, though, if you wouldn't mind, I'm just going to start with Michelle because you're up top. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into racquetball and what you're doing in racquetball now.
Well, I was born into racquetball. My parents met through racquetball, and I've been in racquetball ever since. And we started doing some outdoor and some indoor. I used to play on the LPRT before babies. And now I'm taking more of the back end of things where I'm helping do outdoor and USAR racquetball and all that stuff.
Should also mention, you represented the U.S. as well. I mean, it's not like you were just a player. You've been very successful.
I've checked off a lot of boxes in my career: juniors and worlds and intercollegiates and LPRT and outdoor. I've done a lot of the racquetball stuff that I've wanted to accomplish. So now I'm trying to give back.
Great. Rick, I'll pass it over to you.
How you doing? I've been involved in racquetball for about 15 years. I missed the heyday of, I guess, this sport, but we're trying to bring that heyday back. But I kind of stumbled into playing racquetball with an inability to continue to play other sports, bought a racket and walked into a gym and gave it a shot. And I fell in love. And next thing you know, it's, 4 days a week, 5 days a week, 6, 7 days a week. And primarily now I play outdoor. I played a lot of indoor when I first started, but outdoor just became more of a passion to me, more exciting. A whole different game, different challenges. So I kind of went that direction and been working with Mike Coulter and putting together three-wall ball for the last, I guess this will be our 11th year now. So we started that process a long time ago, and it's been a year-long journey trying to put it together every time. So putting together different shootouts throughout the year, just trying to keep this outdoor sport fun and exciting. So that's where I came from.
Marty.
I have underwear that is older than 15 years old, Rick. So, anyways, I've been playing. Yeah, I know, which is great. And Rick is a great example of outdoor racquetball. Somebody that has been a great athlete his whole life. Then all of a sudden he picked up a racket, midlife, and found a passion and a love for fitness through racquetball and stuff. So Rick is a great example of what racquetball, how racquetball sort of transcends and moves through everyone's kind of life and stuff. I've been playing since I was 8, and played a lot of indoor, but mainly I think over the last 15 years, I've just more or less been playing outdoor racquetball and stuff just to keep in shape and because I love to play racquetball and stuff. But I want to thank you guys for having me come on. I'm looking forward to this evening.
Sure.
Thank you.
Before we get to TJ, just let's talk a little bit about outdoor racquetball, because some people have never played who are watching this, and some people are watching this because it's about outdoor racquetball.
Yeah.
Rick mentioned kind of it's different. It's got different challenges. What are they? What are some of the challenges of playing that versus the indoor version?
I think the biggest challenge when you're coming from indoor to playing outdoor is just the ability to react to what's in front of you, because you don't get another look at it. So whether the ball's at your ankles or over your head, it's got to make it back to the front wall. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges for a lot of indoor players.
I would say the biggest challenge is no ceiling and no back wall.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's nothing to save you. So the challenge is that you get used to Mama.
I love it.
That challenge is the toughest for most people to get used to hitting the ball at their waist when what is a terrible shot possibly indoor could be a great shot outdoor. So there's just different challenges, but if anybody that put your time in and put your practice in, and it's fun. I mean, the outdoor version of the game is what really attracts me to all of it. The fact that you're out in the sun, you're on a court. You might be next to 3 other courts that you can hear somebody cuffing somebody out on 2 courts down. You can hear everybody yelling and screaming. You can hear them yelling 2 bounces when you thought you got it. So it's just more fun. The atmosphere is more fun. You can hear the music. You can see the birds fly over. A ball comes on your court from next to you. It just makes it different challenges, but I just think much more exciting. It's fast, it's furious, and there's a lot of great athletes out there playing.
Yeah, and you're more involved in the court. Like if you're watching and stuff, you actually are in the game with everybody. You can heckle and people talk back to you. That's some of the atmosphere he's describing. It's like a tailgate or a family picnic plus racquetball. It's a ton of fun, and if you haven't seen the atmosphere environment for outdoor, that's really what makes it something special.
It's a lot different. I can add a couple things. One, I think that the indoor player automatically comes with great advantages in the outdoor game because you're using all your same strokes. You're using a lot of the same kind of shots, but the strategy of the shots are totally different. In indoor, you're taught to hit the ball low, to try to instantly kill the ball for winners. Whereas in the outdoor game, it's just the opposite. You want to keep the ball up. You want to drive your opponents back because you want to take advantage of that no back wall and of the ceiling. The deeper the player is in outdoor, the more of an advantage, an incredible advantage the outdoor player has in being in the front. It's not easy to just constantly look to be rolling the ball out when you're 30 feet, plus in the back. So the outdoor player brings a lot of great, tremendous advantages of just knowing how to stroke the ball. And there's no question. I mean, unfortunately with this pandemic situation we've got, it's gonna slow people to coming back to the indoor game, which in my opinion, this is a great opportunity to get outside. Most people are going to be looking to do things outside, and there are outdoor racquetball courts at a lot of parks, in a lot of places that you don't know about that I think now are really going to be tried. And I think outdoor racquetball has a tremendous out of this bad situation growth opportunity.
Now you're going to be in Vegas soon, and Vegas is not a cold place. And you're in Florida, right? I'm in Florida. It is not a dry and cool place either. And playing outdoors is, it's hot, it's humid, it's hard work. Is there a different kind of preparation that comes with that compared to the indoor air-conditioned environment?
Yeah, you have to definitely drink more, wear sunscreen, stay cool as much as possible in between games. It's super important to get out of the sun when you can, especially us Arizonans. We kind of know how to do it.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's an art to that. There's a preparation to, get enough electrolytes in your system to, how many indoor tournaments can you go to where you can play handball, paddleball, racquetball, 4 different divisions in the same tournament over a 4-day stretch. So do the math on how many hours you can be on a court during that time. or reffing a match in between your games. So you could be outside for 4 matches and 4 ref jobs. Some of us lose a little earlier than others, so you might not have to ref when we're done there, Michelle. But for the rest
I don't know if you've ever refed.
we have to ref when we're done. You know, the losers get to go up to their room. But yeah, you might be out there for 8 hours. So yeah, you definitely need to be prepared. Whether that's just electrolytes, water, whatever works for you. But you better get it in you.
Yeah,
But
the sun can take it out of you.
Yeah, that's the fun of the outdoor, though. The fun of the outdoor is being outside, and it doesn't. Of course, the crazy heat. You don't want to play or do anything during the crazy heat of the day of something like in Arizona or in Vegas. But that's what makes outdoor so great, is it is outdoor. And then I mean, you could wear anything from just your shorts on up, basically, and stuff. And that's what makes racquetball so great and stuff. And of course, that's what we're mainly here to promote too, is a 3-wall ball event, which right now with the US Open canceling, looks like it's going to be the only major event of this year. And I know that there's been a lot of work and a lot of consideration that's now has gone on with the guys in Vegas with Mike Coulter and stuff, and some of the restrictions and stuff that we're going to have to adhere to. But if the event happens, if they give the green light for the event to happen, which right now it is, I think it's going to be a tremendous opportunity for people to come out and to play and to support the sport, no question.
All right, well, we're going to get into some more questions, and if you're just joining us, and you have a question for any of these 3 or all of these 3, put it in your chat box and we'll get it to him. But I'm going to turn it over to TJ. TJ, I know you have some questions to ask of these 3, and so I'm going to let you take over from here.
Thanks, Tim. All right, so what we're going to do is some rapid fire questions. This is all related to outdoor racquetball and specifically to the Vegas event. So answer the first, like all 3 of you to answer, and answer the first thing or person who comes to mind. Out of the 3 of you who has played outdoor racquetball the longest?
Marty.
No question, the fossil Hogan has. A matter of fact, I look back I actually was at the very first outdoor nationals, which is
my gosh.
Very scary to say now. I'm still here. It happened in '74 at Orange Coast College. And a matter of fact, I played in that won 1 round, but then ran into the eventual winner, Charlie Brumfield, who, if you ever see my scores, they are not real numbers, because we really know that Brumfield did carry me back then in '74. But that just goes to show you how long outdoor racquetball has really been around. I mean, it's been around even before '74, but that's when it first organized in the first nationals. And actually in the doubles, Brumfield and Muehlheisen beat, I think, Barry Wallace and Wetzel, legends of the outdoor game, in '74 and stuff. So,
and it shows how long you've been around, Marty.
I mean, with these 2, if you say, if you start dating things, I'm going to win all those contests.
All right, so who has played the 3-wall ball Vegas event the most times?
Soda Man.
That would be me.
No question. Soda Man is at the title there. No question.
A lot of court time there. Absolutely.
Okay. Out of the 3 of you, who's the best referee?
Definitely not Marty.
Daniel.
It's going to be Michelle. I hate
me, because I'm still not convinced that Michelle knows all the rules, and Marty just wants to replay everything.
Marty and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
All right, out of the 3 of you, who is most likely to yell at a referee?
Soda Man.
Yeah, I think Soda Man.
I think
Soda Man has never hit a bad shot or never hit a in his life.
Never skipped the ball. Absolutely.
Yeah, every ball's been good.
Who is the funniest outdoor player that you can think of?
Daniel.
The funniest.
Daniel.
Well,
do you guys not remember the dance-off between Daniel and Rocky Carson? Are you kidding me? They had it in the middle of their finals. They had a dance off.
Oh wow!
I gotta go. I gotta go from a post we had earlier today that I'll give a shout out to Zeus Okana, Skinny Heat, who puts up odds for us. They're absolutely hilarious. Generally before the championships, he's done it before the 3-wall ball also. But Skinny Heat, little shout out to him. But he's pretty funny.
He's funny.
Yeah.
Who is most likely to lose all of their money gambling?
Oh, that's Marty.
Really, the only thing I gamble in is poker. And now with this pandemic and with the plastic in between, it looks like I'm going to have to be retired.
Yeah, that doesn't look very fun. Yeah.
All right. Who out of any of the outdoor players is most likely to win a lot of money gambling?
Who's lucky?
Who is lucky?
Susie. Go, Susie. Sending you some good vibes.
Jesus, us tourists. He's had some pretty good luck in Vegas over the years when he comes out. Jesus comes out, plays our shootouts and the tournaments, and he seems to leave with a lot more than he comes with. That's for sure.
All right.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Last question. Who is most likely out of any of the outdoor players to go jump in a hotel fountain?
I mean, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. We're not going to throw some of these people under the bus. I can name a handful.
we play at a park called Baskin Park, where all we have to play right now is one wall, and they put the fountains up for the little kids. So we run through those every Saturday. I'm in that thing doused every Saturday when it's hot out. Oh, it's beautiful.
That's a fair answer. All right. Thank you. Tim, I'm going to turn it back to you for some more questions.
All right. Well, if you're just joining us, a reminder that we're talking to these trio. I'm yet to come up with a full nickname to define all three of you because you're each unique in your own way. But if you have a question for Rick, Marty, or Michelle, be sure to get it in your chat box. And let's start with Peter. He says, "Hey, Marty, I saw Brum today. He's doing well. Did you ever play him outdoors?"
Yes, I did. And I just sort of made a little bit of a reflection. I actually played him for the first time at the Nationals in '74, where he won it. And he was an incredible outdoor player. Instantly grasped the game and stuff just because he's such a student of the sport. And Brumstar was, as great as he was indoor, maybe the greatest ever in my eyes. He was also a great outdoor player and stuff. Yeah, I did play him then.
Vic, who many of you know from the outdoor world, wants to know, has Rick ever even reffed?
I have been roped into it a few times. Usually I like to just put that to the professional women's to the doubles. I like to ref the women's matches. So
I was gonna say he's only ever reffed the women's.
I don't complain much. It's always a good view, so yeah, it's not too tough.
Oh, and then the comments that we get, the comments that we get if we ask him a question is hilarious.
I always got to turn the mic off. I got to turn the mic off if we're being taped when I'm reffing a women's match. Absolutely.
Great.
Thinking about officiating outdoor versus indoor, some of you have already mentioned that it's a little bit different, right? There's
Sure.
Talked about some maybe some coarse language, for example. How is it different? Not in terms of the rules, because we know that the rules clearly are different, but just in the manner in which referees seem to interact with the players a little bit more compared to the indoor, where there's a glass wall and you really don't have that discussion. Talk a little bit about how that works.
So when you're reffing, especially if you're reffing singles, you can help the receiver can ask what side, the server can ask what side they're on because it's quadrant serving. You also have lines who call the outlines for you so the ref doesn't have to. And then, I mean, outdoor is so interactive with all the players on the court, and you can hear everything the ref is saying. You can hear everything the crowd is saying. And so everyone gets, if there's a great shot, everyone's like, woohoo, good shot. And then the ref pumps everybody up, and it's a lot of fun. You get to interact with everybody. Or if they skip it and they know they skipped it, then you can be like, Soda man.
They're going to hear about it. They're going to hear about it.
I think the outdoor game is a lot easier to officiate than the indoor game. I really do. I mean, first of all, the ref can actually move around a little bit in the back during the course of play to get the proper angle. And then you do have the help with the linesmen and also the crowd kind of like does play a little bit of a reffing angle to it, because if you skip the ball, I mean, there's hundreds of eyes right there on it. So I think it's an easier game to play. And quite frankly, it's just player-wise, I don't see hardly ever any arguments and whatever. And Rick is right. If it's close and I'm reffing, we're going to play it over, which necessarily isn't the right call. But if it's close, hold up, we'll play it over. There's always the next point stuff. Absolutely.
It's definitely more liberal. Yeah. It's more liberal on the decision making, when you hold up, the possibilities of holding up if someone's in front of you, you're more liberal with that. There's not as many what could be called avoidable hinders during that time. I think people are more liberal with safety, the safety aspect of it, because the ball is bouncing up around your head and someone's going to take a full swing. So there's a little more liberal when you ref that way. Still avoidable hinders, but not as many.
Soda man does not know what a hinder is. Let's be honest.
Oh, I know how to squeeze out there. Absolutely, I can squeeze a shot with the best of them.
Yes, you can.
Talk a little bit about that though, because there's some discussion when you go to play outdoor. Even when I was supposed to go to Vic's tournament this spring and compete in
Beach Bash
event. And of course, it unfortunately got canceled. But one of the things I was warned is, hey, the rules are different on avoidable hinders, and you got to be careful because they'll take a shot. Yeah, talk a little bit about that, because there's clearly some maybe unspoken rules people don't know about.
One wall is definitely different when it comes to the rules. I mean, we had to kind of everybody sit down and figure out a whole different bag of tricks there to keep New York interested. They play a whole different set. They play paddleball rules when they play one wall. So then you don't clear it all. But Vic did a great job of putting that. That's an awesome tournament as well. That's my second favorite tournament of the year. But it's you get straight in when you play one wall, but you don't get the angles that you do when you play three wall or four wall. So that's really the biggest difference. And again, it's a little more lenient on if you think you're going to hit somebody, hold up, we'll give you the hinder. There's a few more hinders because there's less space to hit the ball on a 32-foot deep court by 20 feet. So it's definitely a different set of challenges there, but more liberal on all the avoidable hinder calls. So straight in is all you get.
Yeah, it's pretty cool with three wall. So majority of us here play three wall. We've all played one wall, and that's a whole nother set of things. But with three wall, you have so many different angles, and so you don't have to hold up as much. So people don't tend to hold up very frequently because you have so many different angles. You're not taking traditional straight in and across court shots. You're taking high balls and Z balls and all different out the door shots. So you don't really have as many hinders because you're adjusting your shot to different angle. But I mean, if someone's in front of you, it's obviously an avoidable safety, avoidable or penalty hinder, however we want to phrase it nowadays. But yeah.
And I think what the players have just touched on about why outdoor racquetball it's so appealing to me and so appealing to a lot of indoor players that try it is that all the courts seemingly everywhere are different. The three wall courts can be three wall, short wall, or long wall. The one wall game is a different game, but with your racquetball game, your indoor racquetball game, it applies to all the different kind of courts that you will encounter in playing outdoor. And I think that's the thing that's really been a tremendous draw to me to the outdoor game, is that even though I may have some real good indoor skills, there is still always something to learn about the courts and the different court angles, whether they're short wall, long wall, or even one wall. And what you learn is that the the one wall players, there is a certain amount of rules and some courtesies that you have to adjust to. And the same thing when you're dealing with three wall and the different angles and whatever. So somebody who could be a great indoor player can go outdoor, and somebody who's just a relatively pretty good outdoor player that just knows the different shots and the different kind of movement of moving players around, it's a great equalizer. You know, I mean, and I see all the time pockets of players, you know, the Kansas City group, the group down in Florida, the one wall group in New York, and then the three wall guys out in Vegas. I mean, there's just pockets of players that learn to play who came from indoor, who are enjoying playing outdoor. And I think that's the thing that's the real draw of playing, and why outdoor, I think, is really kind of like the game of the racquetball future and stuff per se, and stuff. I'm a little biased and stuff now. And I just think it's a great conditioning tool to the indoor player and stuff. It really is, when you can get out there and just drill.
So you actually touched a little bit on my next question, talking about short wall versus three wall. So I'm used to playing on three wall. That's my neighborhood courts. So Vegas now is a short wall court. What's going to be your strategy going in on a short wall court versus a long wall versus one wall? I know it's a lot different, but what's the strategy?
The strategy is out the door. I mean, basically, when you're playing short wall courts, which generally refers to a sidewall ending up at the service line. And in Vegas, our service line is 20 feet back, same as indoor. So for an indoor drive server, they're hitting the same drive serve, but you can hit Z serves that are going to go out the door right past that service line. So that you're not going to see indoor. You got to cut that off at some point, or die by the Z serve. But yeah, there's just different angles. I mean, that short wall moves the game up. If you stand too far back in three wall short wall, you're going to pay the price, because you have to be able to shoot versus long wall. Long wall is just much more like playing indoor. Your strategies are more the same. You can kind of hit a ceiling ball in long wall, where, you know, Michelle plays a lot of long wall. That's a lot of balls just down the wall, deep into the court. So yeah, there's different strategies to all of them. And the nice part about playing in Vegas too is that you're getting a chance, if you're a really good one wall player or want to try three wall. We do have one wall in Vegas, and we do have short wall in Vegas, which is pretty cool. I like to play both, so I sign up for a few divisions in them as well. So give you a chance to test your skills all over the place.
Okay, so Vegas has short wall, one wall, paddle ball, and handball. Anything else?
Well, we will probably set up a pickleball court on the side as well, like we did last year.
All right. So do players sometimes go to Vegas and play all four of those?
When we first started, I think the first few years, Robert Solstry used to play 6 different divisions, and he'd play one handball, a paddle, and then four rackets. I think we did him a favor 3 years ago when we limited him to 4 divisions, because I think the final one was 4, where the other years I think he was just dying by the time Saturday rolled around, because again, you can play 6 matches a day if you're in 6 divisions, or expect to play 6 matches a day. So yeah, you can play all of them.
But most of the players, they come for their specific events. I mean, the handball players that come and play in the event, the Dave and Dave who actually help run it and have been taking care of the handball side of it for three wall ball. I mean, those guys are incredible. It's not like you can be a kind of like a pretender and think you're going to do well playing against those guys. Those are some world-class players and stuff that come out and play handball and stuff. And I quite frankly am always amazed when I watch and I see those handball guys play. The paddleball guys, the same thing. I mean, they play paddleball, a lot of paddleball indoor, and it's a great opportunity for them to come and participate in this great event. And that's one thing that's great about the three wall ball event. It brings all the communities of the racket sports together. It really does. And even though we're kind of like separate, the paddleball, the handball, the racquetball, whatever, it brings everybody together in one venue that makes it the most unique event. It really is an extremely unique event. And you get to see and you get to admire just how great these guys are in their other events. I mean, they truly are amazing.
Yeah, the handball guys. I mean, we'll have Samson back out there again, Timbo, Shorty, Tawan, all these guys committed to come out and just to watch. You know, you can just appreciate what great athletes those guys are as well. I mean,
world class athletes, Timbo. I mean,
and
one of the greatest ever.
They also will jump into handball and one wall handball and three wall short wall handball as well. So same with paddles. We have paddleball one wall and paddleball three wall out there as well. So there's a lot of divisions to play. Everybody can find somewhere to fit in, and a lot of different divisions, a lot of age divisions, a lot of pro divisions, money divisions. You can find a slot somewhere to jump into 3-4 divisions and have a great weekend. No doubt.
Okay. So I've never played Vegas before, not yet. So if I'm first time going to Vegas, what do I want to do as far as when do I want to get there? When do I want to book my flight to leave to get the best experience out of Vegas? How many events do I want to sign up for the first time?
As many as you can, because most of them are single. Most are single elimination, not all of them, but what you'd be in would be single elimination. So play for events and get in there.
I would say you want to sign up for doubles. Doubles is a lot more fun outdoor than singles. I would also recommend getting there at least a day or two early to get used to the courts. There's plenty of court time. You don't want to miss anything. So even if you are out of the tournament early, we have so many fun events and that happen every single night. We have, the ladies' night. You have Saturday night with Soda Man's pool party. You have a bunch of different things that they do to help keep the environment awesome and bring everybody together. But as far as coming out your first time, make sure you pack sunscreen. Make sure you have long sleeves or some type of head coverage, like a visor or a hat, whichever you prefer. Definitely sunglasses. And then besides that, I would try to sign up for a doubles event. Singles is fun, but doubles is way more fun. It cuts the court in half, so it's not nearly as exhausting. The ladies, I think they try to keep the ladies to a pool play more so. If you enter money divisions, obviously those tend to be single elimination. But as far as the first time player, we try to get as many people to play and give you as many matches as possible. So you can sign up for, 3 divisions is about normal, and then you can try something fun. So a lot of people will sign up for 2, 3 wall and 1 wall just to try something fun. So.
Okay. So, and Tim, I know you're ready to shut me off, but I got one more question. Talk a little bit about you. I hear about the actual event and the divisions and everything. You mentioned pool party and other things that go on outside of the event. What can people, if people lose in the first round of all of their divisions, what else other than the obvious Vegas casinos, etc.? What can they look forward to do?
Well, Vegas is so unique. They always have something happening. We work really well with the MRF, the Military Racquetball Federation, and they do a sponsor doubles on Thursday night, which is a lot of fun. You get to see the guys out there playing in wheelchairs and stuff like that. They also have the ice cream social, the ladies' night. They have Soda Man's pool party on Saturday to cap off the event. But besides that, everyone kind of has their own little party type atmosphere that they do. I know we have a 3-wall ball tent, a Pro Kennett, all the sponsors have tents and everyone kind of hangs out and it's just a really good environment to be around.
I think if somebody was to come to the outdoor event, the 3-wall ball event for the first time, and they played, first of all, my recommendation is stay away from the singles. To have the most fun, you should have somebody there and partner up with somebody. You'll have a general idea of how you're playing and whatever. And if you're unfortunate and you run into a couple of really good teams or whatever, and they knock you out early and you don't get 2 or 3 rounds deep or whatever, just to come to the event every day is great to watch. Just the different varieties of the sports, of the players that are playing, you can learn so much by just coming and watching. I mean, if you're a racquetball player and you see some of the paddleball players playing, and how creative and in the diving, in the crazy, the crazy athletes that are playing, the handball guys are going to amaze you to beyond amazement. So just to, if you're unfortunate, and hey, when I was first playing, I got the tar beat out of me in 1 or 2 rounds. The one thing I love to do is just to go be around, see some of these great athletes and stuff. And the one thing that's great, I have always found with all the outdoor guys in all the sports, you can go up to them, you can ask them any question about why they do this or that or whatever, or moving, or their strategy. Strategy is so key, and it's still the same. And positioning is number one in moving your opponents out and whatever. But it's a great, friendly environment that if you're unfortunate enough that where you get blown out or whatever and stuff, there's always events related to the events, as Michelle talked about. But just to come and watch, watching is to me is incredible, because some teams really they work well together. Players really work well together, and the gifted players that come and play, like Daniel, and you see some of the pros play is in racquetball. They're ridiculous. Their racquetball IQ is beyond all of ours and stuff today. But also, the women that are playing and stuff too, TJ, are, always constantly amaze me as to what they do and how they play the game and stuff. So there's a lot more to playing. It's almost it's like kind of like the olden day events, to where they were events. They weren't racquetball, handball, or paddleball. They were just events, and great to be around and meet the players. Everybody's so friendly enough, and whatever, it's the social aspect of racquetball that I really love about the outdoor game.
I think you got to remember too, we're in Las Vegas, where if you lost every match on Thursday, you'd be pretty entertained. Come Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's a million different things to do. Stratosphere put about $100 million into the property there, where
the
Strat. Really, the place is, all the rooms are nice. They went through and redid that whole place, where that whole bottom floor now is completely different. If you haven't been there for a couple of years, or even last year, it wasn't completely done. So it's pretty amazing property now. And where can you go to a racquetball tournament? Walk directly across the street from your hotel with the cheap prices that we have there, and play. Go back to your room for an hour. Just walk back across the street. You don't need a car when you come. Fly in. Get there a couple days early. The courts are open to play on. Come on in early and play. Back to your first timers division as well. I think if we sign up by the 15th of August, you get a second division for free too if it's your first time in Vegas.
Yes.
So that's kind of nice.
Great.
We want you to play. We want you to play a bunch of different divisions and just come and have a good time. It's an outdoor picnic party. Just a good place to hang out for the day. It's pretty entertaining.
All right, we're going to take a brief intermission here while we remind everybody that we have a trivia game. We've got it up and running. So Marty, Michelle, and Rick, if you have a second screen available, you want to go to www.kahoot.it. If you're watching and you want to participate, here's your chance to beat 3 legends of the game. Maybe not in racquetball, but beat them nonetheless. Get some bragging rights. I should say 4 legends, TJ. TJ is current reigning champion, by the way. So there's a little challenge for you guys. Go to kahoot.it with the game pin 554885. That's 554885. And we haven't allowed these guys to get in. So be sure to put in your name. Make sure it's streaming appropriate. We'll just put it that way. And then we'll get to some questions while everybody logs in, and then we'll get going.
What's the website? Kahoot what?
Kahoot.it. Kahoot.it.
Put on your glasses.
Oh,
I miss our animal names.
So while we kind of get that set up, and while you guys watching get signed in, a couple of quick questions going on in the chat box, and one is from Daniel De La Rosa. He said, "Hey Marty, who's been your best outdoor double? I wish it was me." Oh, sorry, Daniel. And why me?
That is an extremely loaded question.
wow.
I think there's a story there.
That has to be.
There is a little story there and stuff. I got the incredible opportunity and stuff to play with Daniel at the beach bash. But let me just tell you this, Daniel. Right now, I haven't had a chance to play with your wife, and I'm sure if I ever do, she will be the best player I will ever play with.
I don't know that you should play with anyone's wife. I don't know you should play with anyone's wife, Marty.
I don't want to. Well, Daniel is truly the best player I have ever played with and stuff. I mean, being an actually seasoned indoor player and stuff. And I played with a lot of great. Let me just tell you something. I played with some guys with some heavy outdoor and racquetball IQs. You know, the cliff swing.
You don't miss anything, Marty. You don't miss anything to play with her.
There he
is.
There he is.
He was truly amazing to play with. I mean, and you know what? Another thing too is
so big.
What players don't know, and I've kind of like been lucky enough to been around so long to play with generational kind of players from the Brumfields on up. You know, even being on the court with the Rocky Carsons and of course with Daniel. These guys have a racquetball IQ that the regular racquetball community just really doesn't really know and understand and appreciate. And it's truly amazing when you are on the court and you actually see guys like Daniel, you know, and Rocky and the way these guys kind of play racquetball. They play racquetball at a different level that people in racquetball really kind of like don't understand. They really just truly don't understand and stuff. And it's also the same way with the women. I mean, and TJ, I mean, you know, I mean, you see it. I mean, when I see the women pros playing outdoor in Michelle and stuff, it's their understanding of the game is quite at a different level. And I was lucky enough to play with Daniel and stuff.
Well, let me just tell you something, Marty. It was an honor for me to play with you.
Well, thank you.
To be honest with you, literally, my dad was watching videos of you and everything growing up. And then, I mean, I had the opportunity. I talked to him before we play in Beach Bash, and my dad's like, "Oh my God, you need to take a picture. You need a video." And literally, my dad was watching every single game of us over there. He was like, "Oh my God!" And then it was amazing. It literally was amazing experience. And I want to say thank you so much for letting me be your partner.
Hey, you know what? I thank you. I appreciate that, but I'm telling you, it was a totally a gift for me to play with you because you are so gifted on that court beyond a lot of what I could ever really comprehend to play. So the feeling is mutual, and I'm so glad that your father was doing that and stuff. And if he's watching this, a big shout out to him. I mean, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, he's a big fan of you, and one of my good friends over there, Hector, is a huge fan of you too. So, yeah, I'm making jealous, you know.
Awesome.
All right, we're going to stop the love sharing here and before we get to Kahoot. So, just a reminder, you got just a couple minutes if you haven't already. Kahoot.it. Pin number 554885. I know Daniel De La Rosa is going to play and beat Michelle, right? Yeah. No.
See you guys in Vegas.
Right
Great,
on.
Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
So next question, Sean Walter, big fan of the show, always asks great questions. And he said, I'm sure this is resource intensive, but do portable outdoor racquetball courts exist? I'd love to try it, but the closest courts are far away.
Wow.
So Vegas, they build the courts. They're not there year round. They build it just for that event. So you can definitely build courts.
I say hello.
Do you know of anywhere outside of Vegas where that actually happened, where people have done that?
We've built court here in Arizona for Junior Worlds, I want to say, back in the day. And I think that's where they got the idea to build them out in Vegas.
It was built on a ship down in San Diego as well, years ago before I started playing. But I know Club and all those guys were down there playing on that ship to introduce it to them. But it definitely can be done. They hold up. We had courts up here until they came down about 6 months ago. I think they were up for about 7 or 8 years. Wooden courts outside in the elements. So absolutely can be done. A little cheaper way to do it, and you can move it if you have to, I guess.
I really think the opportunity for outdoor is to have those portable courts and to have them exhibited in kind of like some of these parks that could really expose the game and stuff. So I think there will be a great opportunity in the short future to see some courts, racquetball courts built for specific events, such as like state, like the thing that really comes to mind for me that I think would be perfect is in Huntington Beach when they have that huge festival for about 3-4 weeks. And a lot of those beach activities, those other beach sports come in and they built, of course, the outdoor volleyball and everything, but they build a lot of events on the beach for that.
The U.S. Open of swimming. I mean, the U.S. Open of surfing down there. You're talking about in the middle of July. Yeah, that'd be the. We talked about that from the beginning. That'd be a great opportunity. But again, you're paying for floor space there. So like every year, we're out there with our hands, our pockets out and the hands out, looking for anybody that can throw some additional money our way, even to put up our courts. That'd be great. To put our courts up and down, all those courts. It's a 2-week process prior. They come down a lot faster than they go up, but it's a long process of getting those all up, getting them right. So it's a tough deal. It's an expensive tournament to put on. So we're always looking for additional funds to make that happen as well.
All right. Well, let's get to Kahoot. If you haven't, you have about 10 seconds to go to kahoot.it. Pin 554-885. We've got, it looks like 9 players ready to go. So hope you guys are all ready. And I'm going to share my screen here and we'll get going. So just for those of you who are not familiar with Kahoot, you've never played it before, you're going to get a series of multiple choice, true or false questions, things like that. Now, the point system works. The faster you answer the question, the more points you get. So it's important that you don't dilly-dally, you don't wait around. If you know the answer, get your answer in, you'll get more points than the other person who goes in. Looks like we have 2, 4, 6, 8. Here we go. All right.
Kahooters.
Question number 1. What does Las Vegas mean in Spanish? The meadows, the stars, the buffalo.
Why am I not seeing this on my screen?
Yeah, I don't see it on my screen either.
So you should also see the answers on your screen.
Oh, I see. I get it. I'm with you.
Just hit the color that.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Red.
Okay, the answer is the meadows. And 8 of you got it. 10 of you got it.
A lot of meadows in Las Vegas.
Who is that person? It looks like it's Jack. Well done.
Okay.
500.
Daniel, are you on here?
In what year was the city of Las Vegas founded?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, gosh.
1902 or 1905. 33.33% chance to get this one right.
1905.
Take our best guess here.
If you don't know, guess. And if you guess fast, you get lots of points. We have a delay between Facebook and the quiz, so that's why we have a little bit of a wait so people get on. And the correct
Marty, good job, Marty.
5.
Yes.
0 for 2.
Huge. Huge.
Joanne Pomodora, I suspect, takes the lead over Man. Question 3. Who opened the first hotel in Las Vegas?
Oh, that'll be easy.
Bugsy Siegel, Al Capone, or Frank Costello?
Oh my goodness.
TJ, you got to defend your
Should have
title.
studied some Vegas trivia.
No question. No question about this one.
Jamie,
tell me what it is.
Bugsy Siegel. No question.
Come on, Michelle. We'll help you.
Thank you. It was like 100 years before my time.
Jay is a quiz master and created these. What are you
There it
implying,
is.
Michelle?
There it is.
Bugsy Siegel is the correct answer.
Woohoo!
Next one.
Look at you, Soda Man.
Soda Man takes the lead. True or false? Double points. The 11th annual 3-wall ball championship in Las Vegas will take place September 9th through 13th. True or false? Only 3 answers.
100%.
Some of you seem to be thinking about it. There's some answers coming in. My only question is, did Jay change the dates on that? That was my question. Did he trick people?
That's the trick. That's the trick part of the question.
Yeah. 10 is true. 1 say false. Soda Man.
I'm killing it.
Michelle De La Rosa gets on the board. She's in 14.
She finally got one?
How long is the Las Vegas Strip?
Ooh.
4 miles, 10 miles, 20 miles.
You better get this one right, Soda Man.
I'm trying to click it. It's not working. How come?
Because you're in the lead, trying to bring you down.
Hey, this is rigged. they shut off my Kahoot. Michelle, what'd you do? It won't let me pick it.
Don't try to cheat.
It's outdoor. Refereeing is sketchy, so.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
I'll give the rest of you more time, I guess. It's 4 in a row.
Still in the lead, but only just. Matt Mann closing in. Chicago Jim in 3rd. Question 6. A 50-foot tall neon cowboy waving to all corners on Las Vegas Fremont Street is known as Vegas Vic, Fremont Jim, Vegas Slim.
Oof.
I don't know.
Fremont Jim.
Man, that's a little tough one. I know where it is. I've seen it.
Fremont Jim.
I never called it anything.
Marty Hogan, very confident of that answer.
Wow.
I think I am very confident.
You're incorrect.
No, it
He is.
was Vegas Vic.
He made it confident.
I would have guessed too, I guess. I went with Marty's guess. Marty, come on.
God, I suck.
On fire.
Jim climbs in, has a streak of 4.
That hurts.
Question
You should
7.
be used to losing.
Double points. Across the street from what famous Las Vegas hotel will the three-wall ball event take place? Hey, if you were listening,
Strat.
you would answer to
No
this.
idea.
The Mirage, the Stratosphere, MGM, and or Luxor.
It is now the Strat.
Yes, they renamed it.
Strat. It was too long to. Michelle couldn't spell it all out, so they just went with the Strat after that.
Yeah.
Secretly, my hair is blonde.
9 out of 11 get it correct. Moving on. Next question. Soda Man back in the lead.
Come back.
Silly dolphin. I like that. What unusual structure once sat on top of the Strat Hotel Tower? A model of King Kong, an Apollo rocket, a roller coaster, or a 747 jetliner?
Oh my goodness.
Come on, Michelle. What's up there?
I know this one.
It was a big poster of me up there at one time, but I think they
Oh
took that.
gosh.
Yeah. That was answer number 5.
And the answer is a roller coaster
Oh,
on the top of the Strat.
still does.
It's different now.
Oh, it's
Michelle climbs into second place.
Ooh, Michelle.
On your heels, watch it.
All right, next question.
Always looking up at me.
Who sang the song?
Oh,
Viva
that's
La
easy
Vida?
enough.
Frank Sinatra, John Lennon, Engelbert Humperdinck, or Elvis Presley.
Slam dunk.
Who the hell was that?
Elvis, baby.
The king.
Absolutely.
That's what you said last time. It is Elvis Presley.
Wow.
Never
Nine out of 11 get it right.
Marty was confident again.
Yes, very. That was a gimme.
Question 10, 4 to go. What's the name of the lion in front of the MGM casino?
It has a name.
Target, Scar, Leo, or Nala?
I am not confident, but I'm going with Scar.
Scar.
No, that's from Lion King.
Yeah, that's from Scar and
I
Nala.
know, but that's why oh, maybe. I don't know. Hey, you're right. That is why I'm saying it.
Nala is Lion King too. These questions I know. Ask me
So
about
you're
Lion
saying
King.
it's either Leo or
Yeah, that's
or
rigged.
Margaret?
We got no kids. What the heck?
It's got to be Leo then. But I'm going to go with it's got to be Leo. How about
It is Leo.
You're still
Take the
losing.
lead.
You're still losing, Michelle.
Dang it.
Roadman ABC 123. The original username is
Snake coming up.
climbing into fourth place. Could come down to Sodaman and Michelle. In what year did Michelle De La Rosa win Intercollegiate Nationals? Does Michelle De La Rosa know?
Oh, goodness.
2010, 12,
Wow.
11, or 13?
Intercollegiates?
I don't really know, guys.
How old are you, Michelle?
I'm 31 right now. I'll be 32 in August. I graduated high school in 2006.
Okay, that's helpful. All right.
I'm more amazed that she went to college. I'm more amazed at the fact that she even went to any
Dang it,
college.
I got it wrong.
Oh my gosh.
God, 2011.
It is your opportunity.
It's been a long time, guys.
We both blanked on that one. Jeez, Michelle trivia.
Can you name
Embarrassing.
the Vegas set film from 2001 starring George Clooney and Brad Pitt?
Yeah. That's an easy one.
It should be an easy one. I think most people know this. Inside Job, Seaside 10, Blackjack, Ocean's 11. Question is how quickly can people get that answer in to get those points?
I couldn't read it. My screen's too small.
Excuses.
Got a small screen.
You see what it's like playing against him?
Ocean's 11 is the correct answer. 9 out of 10 of you got it right. Look at the leaderboard.
Oh, baby.
It's tied. Soda Man, Michelle De La Rosa, Matt Man is certainly within range to strike. It's coming down to the final question. Here we go. Everybody ready? Question 13. What is the name of this popular film set in Las Vegas? The Hangover, Get Him to the Greek, Casino, or The Godfather?
That's easy as easy can be. That's a classic movie. That's a must-watch movie.
Well, actually, there's a couple answers there, though.
No,
No.
not even close to it. There's nothing even close to it.
Who was the fastest? Who's going to claim
I
this
was.
title? 6 of you got it right.
Oh, I went the other way. I went to Casino.
Because
Here
you're
we go.
old.
Casino?
What was the name of the popular film set in Las Vegas? Casino. Robert De Niro.
That's true.
All right, you guys ready? Here's the outcome.
Jeez, Michelle. I felt bad.
In third place is Soda Man. He drops from first. Second place, Matt Man. And in first place, Michelle De La Rosa.
Wow. All right.
Yes. Gosh, closed at the end to win.
Credit to Silly Dolphin and ABC 123 for finishing 4th and 5th as well. So thanks for all of you for participating in the quiz. Hope you enjoyed it. And of course, Congratulations to.
There's what you won. Is that what you won right there? There's your
Yeah,
trophy.
look what you won.
Trophy.
Awesome. Look at
I didn't-
that.
That's why I let that one go. I didn't need a trophy like that. I didn't need that.
So,
oh my gosh,
one of the
beautiful.
questions I have is, I live in Tallahassee, and our city renovated outdoor racquetball courts. We actually have 6 outdoor racquetball courts, and we also have 2 courts that have 4 walls and half a ceiling. And I'm curious if you've ever seen those before, if you've ever played on them, and what your experience is having an outdoor 4-wall court.
Marty, you play on them all the time,
Yes. Actually, the court you described is I've been playing our regular indoor group that I play with in St. Louis twice a week. We actually were playing in 4-wall outdoor, exactly that, with like a half, not even a half ceiling.
Ceiling, yeah.
And it plays very, very close to indoor. It really does. That's great. And if you're new, Tim, those are, that's awesome. That's great. That's great. They plays very, very similar to indoor and stuff. We've been playing legally and illegally on those courts since the pandemic situation and stuff. We've been playing 3-wall, and we've been playing a lot of that 4-wall. It's great. It's great fun. It's great fun.
If I can follow up with that, we've got 8 courts essentially, and they're open to the public. And I know that there's a lot of outdoor courts around the country. How do we as a sport really build that up and promote outdoor racquetball courts so that we have people participating on them on a regular basis? Because I think that's the challenge, right? If you have the outdoor courts, how do we make sure that the kids are playing? Because that seems to be a big issue in the U.S. Kids can't get on indoor courts. They're not being allowed to. Outdoor courts is completely different. How do we change the whole sport in that manner?
I think doing clinics out there and making sure everyone's aware that you're doing clinics, hitting up all the people that do play racquetball to bring their kids out there for clinics, I think is a good way to get started with that. What we do, and then getting the rest of the players to play, getting the indoor players to come out and play. I think what we do out here is through Messenger. We just set up a whole group chat session and always letting one another know when you're going to play. I guess similar to what you would do indoor, but it's not always set time. So we're constantly just talking to each other through Messenger, through boards in there, and make sure that everybody's going out there. But I think clinics for the kids is the biggest thing. You got to get them out there and put a racket in their hand and really get them started.
I think really, Tim, you touched on something that's very important and is extremely lacking. Is this war association that was defaulted over to the USRA would be a tremendous handle for people to go to research local courts when they're traveling and being able to play in, and then also to have some junior involvement. I think if war doesn't or the USRA doesn't shortly get their act together in promoting war the way they should, and they don't, they do a very extremely poor job. That I think a new association should come in and really take the handle to a really of gaining an information base. There is a site called Keep Racquetball Great that to me is the greatest promoter of outdoor racquetball and stuff by Norm. And I would definitely research it and stuff. And I really wish the LPRA, who has done the best job indoor of promoting worldwide racquetball, in my opinion, much better than the men, should maybe look to have maybe an information, somewhat of an information base. And I would tell the LPRA if the LPRT rather, if they need somebody to help them, it would be to go to that site, go to the Keep Racquetball Great site, and it's a great information base. Almost everybody goes there now. There's almost close to 5,000 members that belong to that site. And but if war shortly doesn't get things together, there will be a new association, outdoor association only, that will look to get, be an information based, Tim. I think more than anything, I think what hurts racquetball, indoor and outdoor, is where do you go for the right information, the best information? And I think a lot of people are seeing that it's not the association, it's not the USRA, it's not WAR. And if that doesn't improve, there will be a new association that will really help inform outdoor people that want information about where to go, where to play, and then also networking other players when you're traveling. Hey, how do you network games and stuff? And that Keep Racquetball great site is the place to go to network fellow racquetball players for games.
Well, I want to be thoughtful of time because we've crossed the hour barrier. TJ, any final comments or questions?
I really just want to thank all of you for joining us this evening and really promoting the outdoor sport of racquetball and the Vegas event. I would ask you guys, is there anything you would want to tell people as we're leaving and closing down for the evening? Any final comments you would want to make?
Go ahead, Michelle.
Uh-oh. Can't hear you.
Come on, Michelle. We
Can't hear you now.
Now we got you.
I was just going to say a lot of what Keep Racquetball Great gets their information from, it comes from USAR, it comes from WAR. WAR is really trying really hard to work with USAR, and we have a lot of great WAR directors out there who help promote and get a lot of information out there. But as far as the last comment, I would love to say, if you've never tried outdoor, now is the time to try it. Coming out to Vegas is definitely the place to do it at. We're ensuring that event is following all the CDC guidelines, and the county guidelines, and state guidelines to ensure that it's a safe event and very successful. And we can't wait to see everybody out there. We look forward to it, and I hope everyone has a good night.
I'd have to say that I guess the biggest thing is come out and support our tournament here in September. Come out, play. Now that the U.S. Open is canceled, there's no excuse. I used to hear that excuse all the time. I can't go to the U.S. Open and I can't go to Vegas. Well, now it's just Vegas. So we do put a tremendous amount of work into that tournament all year long. Mike and I and the whole rest of the staff trying to prepare to have everybody come out and have a great time. So I hope everybody can support it. Make sure you get your rooms booked, your flights booked. And we only have a certain amount of rooms that we have in our block because they are actually pretty cheap rooms or anywhere else in the country. So come support the event and we'll see you in September.
I guess in closing for me, I just would just like to thank just racquetball community of promoting racquetball. TJU for the women's pro. You've done a great job, and there is and the women's pro tour has actually been a lot more successful promoting international racquetball probably over the last 10 to 15 years than any other association. So thank you for just the support that you have for racquetball and indoor racquetball. And the outdoor game is it's another facet of our great sport. I mean, it's something I grew up playing nothing but indoor singles. And quite frankly, is the fun thing for me is outdoor doubles now, and I just want everybody thanks to the state directors, WAR state directors who have worked so hard, and have gone thankless over the years, to promoting outdoor at your state level. If you're looking for, you're looking for information or whatever, I would definitely always go, if you can, to your state director first. And then if not, reach out to some of the national sites to kind of answer your questions about racquetball and outdoor racquetball. But really, if you, just the support, even the show, Tim, it gets out to people racquetball information. That's great. So just hats off and this much love for everybody who puts in the hard work and tries to keep our great game going.
Well, thank you all for joining us. And I just want to mention as well, next week coming up, TJ, it's going to be you, me, and team member number 3, Jay, on the chat. So if you have questions for us about the LPRT, about racquetball, we try to keep it interesting. We try to keep it fun. And of course, Jay, I believe, will be going to Vegas. So I hope you guys give him a lot of hassle, make life hard for him, because he moaned the whole time last time. So just repeat just for us. Keep us happy, right?
Yeah,
TJ?
we should mention too that Jay's going because we found out that the LPRT will be streaming the Vegas event.
That's great.
Yes. We're excited about that again this year. So
awesome.
So on behalf of myself, Tim Baghurst, and TJ Bombaugh, Michelle, Marty, and Rick, thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for having us.
thank you.